My rapist, without a shadow of a doubt, was going to use that child to control me, to get to me, to feed his obsession. And also, what would happen if I were able to go through and I had that child? What would happen to the child? A rapist gets joint custody. The morning I woke up bleeding and confused and angry, I called my best friend. I told her what happened, and she said, we need to go to the hospital, we need to go to the police, you know, whatever I feel comfortable doing. I couldn't process what had happened. I stayed in my same clothes for 3 days in my house, just trying to piece together what happened. With women in Alabama, in conservative states in general, there is this understanding that we know what's going to happen when you say you were raped or sexually assaulted or sexually violated. People aren't going to believe you. People are going to question you, and people are going to judge you. And it would also be basically re-traumatizing to have to go through it. And the thought of having to see him in court, in a public setting, I couldn't do it. I was scared. I was scared for my life. I was scared for my reputation. I was scared for my career. Fortunately for me, I had never missed a period in my life, which is not normal for a lot of women. So I knew something was wrong. I knew something was off. So I took a pregnancy test. When I saw that positive, there are honestly no words to describe my feeling. It's almost as if someone took my insides and put them in a blender and then put them back in. Just emotion running out of me. I could feel energy just draining from me. I remember biting down on my shower curtain so that no one in the other rooms could hear me screaming in despair, in anguish, in frankly terror, because I knew exactly what that meant for me. It meant that I was going to have an abortion. It meant that I was not going to have this child no matter what. And to this day, I don't regret my decision. So I went to Planned Parenthood and talked to them, and I got information. One of the escorts who escorted me while the protesters, anti-abortion extremists, were outside having signs about how you're going to hell, you were a baby murderer, all this other stuff. And I remember her telling me, you're gonna be okay. I can't express how much that meant to me. And I hugged her and I was like, thank you. You just being kind to me and treating me like a human and letting me know that it will be okay and that I'm not alone was what I needed the most. It makes me feel betrayed by Governor Ivey. You're a woman, and a lot of women in this state looked up to you to be a leader and to take care of us. She has to know what's going to happen to these women who don't have access to safe, legal abortions. We're going to have them anyway. We're going to, or we're going to end our lives. I had just graduated college. I had student loans and debt out of my eyeballs. I couldn't support myself hardly. How am I supposed to make a good, decent living for a child that depends on me? How was I going to do that? Who was going to help me? The rapist's father? Also, in that state, with the trauma that I went through, I developed PTSD and major depressive disorder. How am I going to take care of a child if I'm disassociating and having panic attacks and nightmares? And how am I supposed to do that? There's no way. Honestly, my only option would have been to end my life. To the women who are scared, to the women who are confused, I want them to know, first of all, they're meant to be. This is meant to scare and confuse women in Alabama. That's one of the goals. Second thing, there are people here who will take care of them. There are people who are going to fight this. There are people who are going to come forward, tell their stories, just continue to operate with love and compassion and hope. And I know that is hard. I know it is. I know that is so hard to continue with compassion, love, and hope for one another, but there's so many people out there who are against this. So many people. And you're not alone.